Hi, I'm Mike, and this is Tony, and we're here at Lake Nakamixon State Park, home of the 2020 Steelman Triathlon.
We're here today to give you a course preview of the upcoming triathlon on September 27th. Let's get to it.
Hello Steelman athletes, welcome to the 2020 Steelman Triathlon here at Lake Nakamixon. It's going to be a great race this year. We have Olympic, sprint, aqua bike distances, but also we have a relay too. We can't wait to see you out here at the Steelman Racing Triathlon on September 27th. We'll see you here. Our goal at Steelman Racing is to make it the safest race possible for you to come out and enjoy a great day of racing. So what are the different safeguards we have in place to make this the safest race possible? First, all athletes will have their temperature screened before they enter the transition area and use hand sanitizer before they come in as well. The transition area will be socially distanced with only 3 athletes per rack. Also, all athletes will be given a disposable mask they'll get to wear from their car to the start of the race to help ensure safety as well. Unfortunately this year, spectators are not permitted. To ensure social distancing at our check-in procedure, it's going to look a little different this year. Athletes will come to the race to the transition area with their ID and their race number ready to go. When they get to the transition area, of course, they're going to have their temperature screened and use hand sanitizer before coming into the transition area. Once in, athletes will find their packet with all their race information hanging on their rack where their race number is located. That way they'll get everything they need to start their race. Your race packet will hold everything you need for the race. First, you'll have your chip in there. You'll have your bike stickers and your helmet sticker. You'll also have your race bib. Safety pins will be provided in the transition area if you need to actually pin your bib to your shirt, but everything you need will be in your race packet, including your Steelman Racing 2020 Triathlon t-shirt. To get to the marina race day morning, all athletes need to come to the race via Harrisburg School Road. The main park entrance will be closed. All athletes need to be in the park by 6:45. At 6:45, Route 563 Mountain View Road will be closed to start the bike course. On race morning for check-in, the biggest change is you need to have your race numbers clearly on your body before you get to the race. Second, when you get to the race, if you have your bike stickers on your bike and your race numbers on, you'll be permitted to go into transition. If you don't have your packet yet, which will have your bike stickers in it, you need to first, again, get your temperature checked, use hand sanitizer, and show your ID with your race numbers on, and then you'll be permitted to come into transition. Once athletes reach the park via Harrisburg School Road, parking attendants will direct them to either the marina lot or other lots in the park to park for the race. All athletes need to be in the park by 6:45. At 6:45, Route 563 Mountain View Road will be closed to start the bike course. The swim course will be a rolling start just like we had last year, but how it will be set up differently, we're going to pull the different groups and divisions at individual times. So for example, we're going to have male Olympic going first, and they'll be asked to come up to the staging area to start the rolling start. Fast swimmers should get in the front of the line, slower swimmers should get towards the end. This year at the Steelman Racing Triathlon, there'll be no swim warm-ups. When swimmers enter the water, they'll be jumping off the dock over there. Again, they'll be going in about every 10 seconds. Once they go in the water, they're going to head out on a rectangular course to go out and follow the buoys. We actually changed the list a little bit this year to be on more of a direction away from the heading straight into the sun. When they head back into the boat ramp, we have huge rubber mats they're going to use to make sure their footing is safe as they go up the boat ramp.
Water temperature is typically in the mid-70s race day morning, and with a late September race date, you can expect it to be wetsuit legal. However, an official announcement will be made at 6 a.m. on race morning as to whether you are allowed to wear a wetsuit. As far as swim safety goes, there's going to be approximately 6 lifeguards and an additional 15 support volunteers that are either in the water, on kayaks, on the shore, or on active patrol boats while you're swimming.
So let's talk about the bike course. The Steelman Racing bike course for the triathlon honestly is one of the best in Pennsylvania. First and foremost, the bike course is completely closed to traffic. The only vehicles you'll see on the bike course are our support vehicles and then the EMS support we have out there as well. To help improve safety at this year's event, we have ample signage on all speed bumps and hazards on the bike course. Plus, all turns on the bike course will be clearly marked with signage out on the main roads. There will be no aid stations on the bike course this year. I would recommend having at least 2 bottles before you head out.
When you start the bike portion of the race, you're going to exit transition and stay to the right, going around the traffic oval. You're going to head down that road and you're going to make a left going uphill, which is going to take you out of the park. Be careful of the speed bumps on your way up the hill. Once you get to the park entrance exit, you're going to make a right onto Mountain View Drive, where you're going to head out to your first turnaround, which is about 4 to 5 miles out. At the turnaround, you're going to go between the cones and the sign. Make sure you're going to turn around between the last cone and the sign. At that point, you're going to head out for about 5 miles on Mountain View Drive. This is probably the best part of the course. As Dave mentioned, it's completely closed, so you could really get going, pick up some speed, enjoy the nicely paved roads. One thing we want to point out is that, and if you did this last year, this is a big improvement. One of the bridges that you're going to head over was completely redone this year. Dave worked with the road crews, the construction crews, to make sure that it was done in time for this race. So you can take a look at it on screen here. You're going to go past the main entrance of the park, and you're going to go head out to the second turnaround, which is about 9 or 10 miles out into this bike course. Just before the second turnaround, there is a bridge that has not been redone for this year that is pretty dangerous if you're not paying attention. Lots of potholes, very bumpy. So use extra caution when going over this bridge. It's probably the only dangerous part of this bike course, with the exception of the speed bumps, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. So you're going to head to the turnaround. The second turnaround, you're going to turn around, head back towards the park. Again, going over that bridge. Be careful, please, going over that bridge. As you approach the park, you're going to, the sprint athletes are going to turn right, heading down towards the finish. The Olympic athletes are going to continue past the main entrance for their second loop.
On the bike course, when athletes re-enter the park, we need you to observe caution going over the speed bumps. So what do they look like? You'll first see signs way ahead of the speed bumps that look like this. Caution, speed bumps ahead. And as you continue closer, notice the painted lines from the ground. They're a great way to gauge when the speed bump's coming because they go from smaller to larger. When you get to the speed bump, you'll see signs that say slow, caution, please go slow, and please do not try and go around the speed bumps. We'll have cones on either side. For your safety, please don't try and go around the speed bumps. They're there to slow you down. We want you to observe them, be safe, go over them with caution.
As you just heard Dave talk about the speed bumps heading down the hill towards transition, this is not a time to try and make up time on other racers. You're not going to win the race by going over these speed bumps fast. These things are no joke, so please take extra caution going over these speed bumps. You're going to head down the hill and you're going to make a right towards transition. As you approach the traffic oval just before transition, you're going to stay to the right for your bike dismount. One thing to note about this course is, even though the roads are freshly paved and you are going to be moving very fast, it is a rolling bike course. There are hills. You're going to be going uphill and downhill on this course. So one thing, you just want to be mindful of the energy you're putting out, and how you're monitoring that, whether it's power, heart rate, RPE. Just be mindful, because you are going to be putting in some effort to get up some of these hills on this course.
When athletes finish the bike course, they'll start their run. The run course has not changed at all. We have 2 aid stations in the run course, and it follows the perimeter of the lake, out and back, and you'll finish by going around the peninsula here and to the finish line over in the main parking lot.
All right, so as Dave said, you're going to start the run course by heading out towards the shore of the lake, and you're going to run along the shore for just about this entire run course. So you're going to head out, both sprint and Olympic athletes, you're going to head out and you're going to run out to the turnaround. So the sprint turnaround is actually before the Olympic turnaround, so there are signs that notify you, and there will be people out there, volunteers out there, to send the sprint athletes back before the Olympic athletes. So the sprint athletes are going to run out, and you're going to see a sign that says sprint turnaround. At that point, you will turn around and head back towards the finish. Olympic athletes are going to run past that sign, and they're going to you're going to run around like a little lollipop loop for your turnaround. So both sprint and Olympic athletes heading back now. You're going to follow the trail the same way you came out, zigzag up, down, back towards the finish. One part that is that you have to pay attention to. It is very well marked out, but there was some confusion last year. So you're going to get to a split in the trail on the way back, and you are going to stay to the right. Once you get around and stay to that right, you're going to approach these signs that basically tell you if you are ready to finish. In other words, you're a sprint athlete, or you are an Olympic athlete on your second loop, you are going to go to the right. If you are an Olympic athlete who is just completing his first loop and needs to do a second loop, you are going to make a left here. And when you make that left, you're going to go back out to that same turnaround that you did. You're going to do your lollipop turnaround, and you're going to head back, and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to stay to the right at this intersection, except this time when you approach the signs, you have now completed your second loop, so you're going to go to the right towards the finish, in which case you will then head out past transition, go around the peninsula, and then follow the signs to the finish line, where you will be welcomed by Dave as a Steelman finisher.
The 2020 Steelman Racing Triathlon is the Pennsylvania State Championship race. What does that mean? We're the biggest race in Pennsylvania, bringing in athletes from all over the state. The Steelman Racing Triathlon is a USAT sanctioned event. What does that mean? All USAT rules must be followed during the race. Even though there will be no spectators at this year's event, we're still going to give you the best finish line experience we possibly can. You'll finish up by going around the peninsula and finishing in the main parking lot. Once you finish your event, you'll be able to pick up your goodie bag at the end of the race with your post-race food that's all pre-packaged, and safely head back to your vehicle to leave the race. Your race numbers will be checked against your bike stickers so you can leave transition. Route 563 will remain closed until 10:30. Therefore, no athletes can leave the race until that time. Once it opens up, all athletes may proceed out the main park entrance to leave the race. Unfortunately, this year there will not be an award ceremony, but athletes will receive a text message or email at the end of the race so they can come up and collect their award. Again, this year at the Steelman Racing Triathlon, there are no spectators permitted. Unfortunately, we need to keep our numbers low to permit as many athletes as we can to participate in the race. So please, family and friends, stay home for this one, but we'll see you next year.
All right, everyone. I wanted to thank you for watching the Steelman course preview. We wanted to just share 5 tips going into race week or going into a taper period that you could utilize leading into this race. The first tip is to obviously plan out your recovery. So leading into the race, you don't want to bank on getting a good night's sleep the night before the race. You don't want to put too much emphasis on the night before the race of sleep. So you want to try to get the most sleep you can those days leading into that. That way you're kind of worry-free, you're stress-free going to bed the night before, and you don't have to put that pressure on yourself like, oh, I need to get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours sleep tonight in order to feel well-rested, okay? Number 2 is going to be to reduce volume, but not intensity. So for example, if you're looking at a bike workout where you're doing, 6 or 8 minute intervals at a zone 4 pace, you could still do the zone 4 intensity, but you want to cut down on the time. So maybe make that a 4-minute interval or something along those lines. So you want to keep the intensity where it normally is, just cut down on the volume. That way you kind of, your legs are used to, a race pace or going a harder effort, but you don't fatigue them from putting in such high volume. Our third tip is to don't plan additional work for yourself, whether that be chores or stuff around the house or extra activities outside, meeting up with, certain friends or dinners or stuff like that. You want to kind of keep it low key all week. Don't stress yourself out doing stuff that you don't normally do. Our fourth tip is to stay active during race week. You don't want to totally go into a full-blown rest mode where you don't want to do anything and you just want to stay on the couch, because that's going to make you feel more sluggish. So you want to take, frequent walks or stretch breaks if you're at work sitting all day. You want to stay up, stay active. Just don't overcommit yourself to certain activities. The fifth tip that we have for you is to begin packing early. Okay, you don't want to, wake up the day before the race and all of a sudden start getting all your stuff together. As the week, progresses, you want to start packing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the latest, start organizing all your stuff that you're going to need. Kind of walk through each section of the race, swim, bike, run, transition layout. I'm a checklist guy, kind of put it all on a list, everything that you're going to need. Even if you look at, you go swimming, all right, what do I need for swimming? And then take everything that you did, or brought with you to that swim and make a note of that, so that goes into your race bag. And, same thing for the bike and the run. The bonus sixth tip we have for you, don't worry about things you can't control, whether that be the weather or the competition or, something along the course gets changed. I don't know. There could be a number of things that are out of your control, mainly being the weather, leading into race. Everyone always obsesses over it, like they have some control over it. So you want to be prepared for the weather, but, control what you can control, and that's yourself and your effort and your, mindset going into the race. So good luck, everyone. Have fun. We'll see you out there.